Here's my little speaker notes, and basically what we're going to be covering today is how to start and drive a stick shift car. So to begin with, basically the clutch disengages and re-engages a disc which spins and touches another disc within the engine, which produces the RPMs to move your car. And courtesy of Team Hive from informedbynature.com, we found that the clutch lever is the leftmost lever in the car at the foot pedals, and when you push that down, you're disengaging the clutch, and when you release it, you are re-engaging the clutch. And so basically that's just a very basic concept of the clutch. We have a lot to cover. We need to get through just some basics about the gears, the RPMs, how to start the car, and then my personal favorite, starting up on a hill again. So basically there's 5 gears in most stick shifts, or manually operated vehicles, which we'll refer to as stick shift cars. Some of the newer ones may have 6 gears, some of the older ones may have 4, and they'll all have a reverse feature on them. And when I was looking through some of the first steps that we ought to do before we start driving a stick shift, the DMV said that it's very good to familiarize yourself with the car and just practice shifting with the car not started and turned on. So just sitting in your driveway going in and out of the gears. I found from Mr. Walton and the people at Car Talk was a very specific correlation between RPMs and shifting. And basically, when you're getting into the higher RPM range on your car, on the tachometer reading, you're going to want to shift up. And when you're decreasing your RPMs and getting lower, you're going to want to shift back down to enable your car to continue to move at a good rate. Then what I found from the primer magazine was how to start the car. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to push that clutch pedal back down all the way to the floorboard, and you're going to turn the key to start it, just like you would any other car, and it should fire right up. And then to get the car started, it seems pretty simple, but it will definitely take some practice to get down. What you're going to do is you're going to put your left foot on the clutch pedal and push it all the way down to the floor in order to disengage it and allow you to shift between gears. What you're going to do when you have your foot down on the pedal is you'll move the shifter in the center column up into first gear and put your right foot on the gas pedal and increase the RPMs to 1500, and you'll need to try and keep it there. Because basically all of my sources were saying that 1500 RPMs is a very safe range for you to keep your vehicle at in order to get it started slowly without spinning the wheels. And what you're going to do is you're going to slowly lift your foot off of the clutch pedal, and as you start moving, you will know that you're almost at the end of the clutch, and then you will keep releasing until your foot is all the way off the pedal, and your car will be moving continuously in first gear. And then what I found from the people at Primer Magazine with Mr. Snavely was that when you get to about the 2500 to 3000 RPM range reading on the tachometer, which should be found right on the dash, you're going to need to shift up into second gear from first gear, which is the same concept as when you're starting off. You're going to put the clutch in and then shift down into second gear, and then release the clutch, and so on and so forth. That's the same for third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and even reverse. And the RPMs that you're going to want to shift is going to stay the same throughout all of them as well. The 2500 to 3000 RPM range is very safe for you to shift up in. Then probably one of the hardest things that is to do for new stick shift drivers is to learn how to start on a hill. And so we're going to very quickly cover that here to close out our session. There's 2 different ways to do it. One that I found from the people at Car Talk was to come up on the hill, and once you're in your place in traffic, to stop and engage the handbrake or emergency brake, what it might be more commonly known as, and then repeat the process that you would do to get into first gear. And then when the light turns green, you will drop the handbrake, and then you will complete the cycle, keeping the RPMs at 1500 RPMs, and then dropping the clutch back into place and then going on your way. But my favorite, seems a little bit more efficient, is as you get your place in traffic, using the brake, you will put the car into first gear, and you'll begin to release the clutch pedal as you're giving it the gas to get to the proper RPMs. And you will not fully release the clutch. You will keep it at its little sweet spot and which will allow you to move slowly, although the clutch is not fully engaged, which the small force that you have there should cancel out the gravitational pull that's pulling you back down the hill, which should keep you at a stopped position. Lastly, the biggest thing that's going to take is practice. We covered a lot here very quickly, and there's a lot that goes into driving it, but it's very simple if you get down these basic steps and keep in mind the basic RPMs that you want to shift at, and remember the basic concept of how to work the clutch.